What's up, guys? We're back at it again for another episode of Touchdown Talk. As always, I'm ZB, Zack Brown. Big preseason weekend that we just had. All the teams lined up and took the field and showed what we were probably not going to see in the entire season. I'm going to dive into the rest of the power rankings that everybody's been wondering about. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of those throwback and the special uniforms that are happening this year. So let's get into it. Appreciate you guys coming back again. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to it, go ahead and follow the podcast anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Pods, all that stuff. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in so far, and we're going to dive into some stuff that's happened. So this past weekend we had all the teams take the field, and mainly the backups all played. But it was a big showcase for the rookie quarterbacks that got drafted. The Texans and Patriots took on each other. The biggest question mark was, how is C.J. Stroud going to do? Can he adapt to an NFL offense and be able to read the NFL defenses? Well, it showed pretty quickly he's still not quite there yet. Through interception on the first drive. He made some decent throws, but made some very much rookie mistakes in the game. So, yep, some things they definitely got to clean up. I think CJ will be okay, but it's too early to tell. Everybody's going to be jumping to conclusions that he's going to be a terrible NFL player. We don't know yet. It just all depends on what the team gives him, the opportunities he's given, and what he does to progress himself in his career. Another rookie that everybody was looking at going down to the Packers. Well, not rookie. He's but it will be his first season. Jordan Love for taking over the reins for Aaron Rodgers, like everybody already knows. Looked pretty good. He missed a one fairly simple throw, but he threw pretty hard and with emphasis. So it's not like it was a noodle arm by any means. I think he's going to be a pretty decent quarterback. You learn behind Aaron Rodgers for several years, you're definitely bound to pick up on something. So it'd be cool to see what they end up doing with him, how they utilize him in that offense. I think you'll see a lot more running game with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But there's going to be times he's going to have to pass. He's going to have to make the throws. So we'll see if he can do it. Showed a pretty decent route in the preseason game. So we'll see how that goes for the Packers this year. Question mark also at quarterback. Not quite back into the rookies yet. But first year with the team, Baker Mayfield is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he's competing for the starting job, and he might have solidified himself as the starter for the team. Made some really good throws, good reads in his preseason debut and team debut with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a tall order to take over for Hall of Fame quarterback and Tom Brady, but if he's given the right tools, once again, this is a quarterback that kind of bashed some heads with coaches in Cleveland, and kind of had another Cleveland curse. But this maybe could be a resurgence of his career. We'll see. This is it, though. This is it for him. If he can't make it happen, if he can't start over Kyle Trask, I think you got to hang it up. Well, what other teams? That pretty much does it for the Friday I really want to talk about. Obviously, let's talk about the Eagles-Ravens. Both teams sat their starters, and it was time to shine for some of the rookies, especially that the Eagles got. In case you haven't saw it, go ahead and check out my the TikTok account at TheRealZB93. Jalen Carter, an absolute fucking menace already. First snap ever. and he gets to the quarterback. He only played a couple snaps anyways, but even after the game, he was saying he studied film on that particular offensive lineman. And that shows that this rookie is going to prepare himself. He wants to start. He wants to make a name for himself in the NFL, and he wants to be great. A lot of question marks surrounding his personal life with the things that happened in that wreck in the Georgia football. Things the Eagles can't really control. You'll see some civil lawsuits happen. I think you'll see them settle as the criminal charges were dropped. But Jalen Carter, if he can maintain his focus and his drive, he's in the perfect opportunity to be great. And I think this defense for the Eagles can be one of the best that's ever been in the NFL. Even better than their defense last year. I think you'll see a lot more aggressive play calling, and I think you'll see a lot more physicality with this defense and getting to the quarterback. They got to him the most ever last year, but I think you'll see him even improve on that this year. Going down to the Bills and Colts. Here's a rookie quarterback, and just announced starter for Week 1. Anthony Richardson is getting the nod for the Indianapolis Colts already. I guess it's that time of preseason. Everybody's going to make the official announcements who's starting in the season opener. I still think it's a little early to be announcing that. Whether you say it internally and everything, that's different. But to publicly come out with who the quarterback is already kind of gives the teams a chance to extra time to prepare for that quarterback in the opening season. And as a rookie quarterback, that's not the easiest thing to do, to go against an NFL defense that's prepared to go against you. Anthony Richardson showed some great potential. Made some mistakes, like all rookies seem to have. But if you want to make your mistakes, make them preseason. Do the stuff now. The defenses are very basic right now. Nothing too crazy is going to be thrown at these quarterbacks. So to see some mistakes is a little bit concerning, but again, you're a rookie quarterback. There's going to be growing pains. But congrats to Anthony Richardson. He's definitely going to be the future of the Indianapolis Colts, and we'll see how he takes this opportunity and see if he can seize it and bring the Colts back to a little bit of glory. All right, we're going to talk about the Jets and Panthers. The Panthers did not score a single damn point. Doesn't mean anything. Who cares? The biggest thing was that Bryce Young made his debut for the NFL, and he was also announced as the official starter of the Carolina Panthers. No surprise. I mean, you go number 1, you're going to end up starting. But again, I think officially naming it right now, maybe a little bit too early, but maybe that's just me. We'll see how Bryce can go through an entire game, reading an NFL defense, escaping the pocket when needed, and making the plays that he's expected to make as going the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, the Jaguars-Cowboys. The one play I want to talk about is that, what is that quarterback's name? Well, you got Calvin Ridley coming back. So that's going to be big. I think he's going to have a humongous impact on the Jaguars. And where is this? Trevor Lawrence looked really good. Nathan Rourke. That's what it was. It might be the play of the year already. He escaped 2, 3, 4 different sacks, throws a dart in the end zone for a touchdown. I know it's preseason, but that's still pretty impressive. Kind of reminded me of the vintage Carson Wentz before he got concussed and broke his ankle 14 times and severed his leg off, stuff like that, where he just won't go down, gets out of the pocket, throws a dart. So that's pretty impressive. I think Jaguars should be pretty proud of their quarterback room right now. Yeah, that's really all I want to talk about. Just going over the preseason games. You can look at the rest of them, but it's not a whole lot to really talk about. Not a bunch of headlines in these preseason games. Again, it's preseason. Nobody really cares. Um, People just want to see how these rookies can do, especially the teams that drafted these rookies very high. Um, Maybe to touch on that, the Saints look really good right now, but again, it's preseason. Derek Carr looks sharp. Um, Call him Muscle Car, fucking yoked right now. Definitely about trying to step into that role as a franchise quarterback for the Saints and try to bring him back. So we'll see how they can do. They look really good. Again, take that with a grain of salt. Oh, and the 49ers, they had Sam Darnold looked better than Trey Lance. What a fall from grace Trey Lance has had. I don't think he's going to get another opportunity. With Brock Purdy's emergence, he's clearly the starter, and I think you'll see Sam Darnold back him up. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Very interesting stuff there. A couple things in the news, breaking news that happened just this week. Ezekiel Elliott, finally, after everybody keeps talking about him, where's he going to sign? What's he even doing? He signs, surprisingly, with the New England Patriots. Not sure how he fits into Bill Belichick's culture, but we'll see. Adds some depth to that running back room with Ramondre Stevenson, obviously the starter, but Zeke adding that veteran presence in there to help guide him and point them in a better direction. Not sure that's where they needed to focus their stuff on, but they got him anyway. So Zeke to the Patriots on a 1-year deal. What else we got? Oh yeah, Dalvin Cook. Literally right after Zeke was announced, signing with the Patriots. Dalvin Cook, to really nobody's surprise, signs finally with the new New York Jets. So another weapon for Aaron Rodgers to utilize in that offense. The big question mark with the Jets are the two offensive tackles. The interior offensive line is pretty solid, but it'll be all about how can the tackles protect Aaron Rodgers and also open up holes for this great running back room. You got Breece Hall now, Dalvin Cook. The Jets are going all in, and you love to see it, especially if you're a Jets fan. You've got to be stoked about the season. Hard Knocks has been phenomenal, and I saw only the first episode, so don't spoil the second one for me quite yet if you see it. But it's just it's really interesting seeing behind the scenes, and with if you don't like him, whatever. I really think Aaron Rodgers is one of the most fascinating individuals in the NFL. Probably outside of any of the Eagles players, is my favorite player. Just kind of enjoy hearing him talk, what he's got to say, how he approaches the practices, how he can teach these young guys, and just coming from one of the greatest passers of all time himself. It's just cool to see all that. Well, it kind of does it with the news. Let's dive back into the power rankings, and I want to touch on these new uniforms everybody's going through, and talk about the 10 best. I think there are only about 10 anyways, from worst to best. But we're starting with number 16 in the power rankings. So if you guys remember, we ended with the Green Bay Packers at number 17. So number 16. And again, once the year starts, this list is definitely going to change. How people are performing, where injuries happen. So comment down below where you think teams should be ranked, higher, lower. Give me your insight. Love to talk about it. It's good stuff. Coming in at number 16, Jimmy Garoppolo is getting the chance right now to be the next face of the franchise. Amazing weapons, probably one of the best receiving rooms in the NFL. Stud running back, NFL rushing leader last year with Josh Jacobs. Very solid defense. Las Vegas Raiders at number 16. and look for them to be on the cusp of a playoff team. I don't think they'll make it, but they're pretty close. Coming in at number 15, one of the NFC East foes from the Eagles signed a big-time contract to their quarterback, making him very generously paid quarterback for probably not the best quarterback play for some decent games last year, but got him a playoff win. We'll see how they can do. Saquon Barkley's back on a one-year deal, but not quite a franchise deal, a little bit more than a franchise tag. But the New York Giants at number 15. And at number 14, this is a team, this is probably going to be some debates right here. Featured one of the main focal points of the Netflix series Quarterback. I think it is a playoff team. I think they're a lower tier playoff team. I don't think they'll win the division. Going into this year, I think you'll see a little bit of a struggle from Kirk Cousins. But I am talking about the Minnesota Vikings at number 14. At number 13, and I think this can only rise this year, but right now this is where I've got them. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is continuously improving. Doug Peterson has clearly made his mark at that organization, bringing Trevor Lawrence back to what everybody thought he could be. The Urban Meyer era for that year was just catastrophic. So I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a really good chance to do some special things this year. Right now, I got them at number 13. Moving into the top 12. At number 12, I've got a team that signed another big-time quarterback extension. I'm talking about the Los Angeles Chargers with Justin Herbert. This kind of comes down to coaching. Can Brandon Staley take the Chargers to the next level, not blow a playoff lead, have the team prepared, be better in game time situations? They seem to show up at the Kansas City games, and for whatever reason, the other games they struggle a lot with. They'll struggle with random teams, like they'll go to like Houston or something. No offense, Houston. And they'll struggle, and they can somehow be competitive and even beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's things like that. You got to have consistency and just situational awareness going into these games. But the Los Angeles Chargers at number 12. At number 11, just outside the top 10, I was debating if I should have them top 10. Very good feel-good story right now. You got MCDC up there just doing his thing. Yes, talking about the Detroit Lions at number 11. I'm excited to see what they can do this year. I'm not even remotely a Lions fan, but as much as they sucked forever, to see them potentially go on a playoff run this year would be really insane and really cool to see. So see how they do. The Detroit Lions at number 11. Cracking the top 10. At number 10, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Things coming out of training camp, take that with a grain of salt. Not looking too great. Dak Prescott's throwing several picks, but maybe that defense is just solid. You got a very, very good cornerback tandem now with Stephon Gilmore coming in there and Trayvon Diggs on the other side. Look for the Cowboys to be really solid. You got Michael Parsons still on defense. So, yeah, Dallas Cowboys at number 10. Number 9, a team that got their 24th straight preseason game win, because that's important. The Baltimore Ravens. Lamar gets his big deal signed finally, and if he stays healthy, they're a top 10 team. They're a playoff team. They could win their division, but there's a team in Cincinnati that's pretty damn good as well. But yeah, I got the Baltimore Ravens at number 9. At number 8, team I was just talking about that's got great potential to go on a huge run and will make the playoffs and get their playoff drought, the longest playoff drought in the NFL right now. The New York Jets, Aaron coming there, already changing the culture of the team. Optimism is a big feeling around New York Jets fans. Some would say cautiously optimistic because they're used to getting their heart broken, and I feel them on that. I get it. But we'll see what they can do. New man in the backfield to go along with Breece Hall. Offensive and defensive rookies of the year. New York Jets at number 8. At number 7, another feel-good story for the quarterback, too. Gets a big deal signed as well. The Seattle Seahawks. Can Geno Smith lead the Seahawks back to the playoffs and get a playoff win? Well, that remains to be seen. But they showed that they can compete in every single game of the year. They trust Geno. They've got his back. They've got the offense tiered towards his skills. See what they can do this year. Pretty cool to see. Seattle Seahawks at number 7. And at number 6, I might get some hate and pushback from this. The Buffalo Bills at number 6. Now, I know. Josh Allen, cover Madden and everything. Bear with me. Well, first of all, there might be a Madden curse, so the Bills could easily drive. If Josh Allen gets hurt, Bills are back in the bottom half. Sorry. But can they take that next step? Every single year something happens. And I'm not saying it to be in a negative way, really. The DeMar Hamlin situation was awful last year, and that takes the focus away from the team. As much as they don't want to say it, it takes a lot out of them. Mentally draining. And the year before that, they lost because of a coin flip. It's just, sometimes teams have the worst luck. Sean McDermott's taking over the defensive coordinator duties. That's a lot to ask for a head coach, doing head coaching and being a coordinator. The defense looks at him as being primarily defensive coordinator. Well, you really got to look at the head coach as the head coach, in my opinion. They have so many responsibilities they have to do themselves outside of just being a coordinator. It puts a lot on them, and it can be draining throughout the course of a 17-game schedule. So we'll see. But the Buffalo Bills at number 6. All right, we're going to the number 5 position. Top 5 right now. At number 5, the Miami Dolphins. If Tua stays healthy, Tyreek stays healthy, Jesus, and Jalen Waddle stays healthy, they have potential to be something very special on offense. Jalen Ramsey going down on defense hurts, but he'll be back probably later in the season, maybe second half of the season. What comes down, can Tua make enough plays, make enough throws? Can Tyreek still run faster than every human being alive on the field? Yeah, I think he will. It comes down to health. Teams like that, move fast like that, injuries can plague a team. But Mike McDaniel's got another year in that offense to come up with some other creative ways to utilize his weapons. I think you'll see them compete each and every week, and they'll be a difficult team to beat. And so I got them just ahead of the Bills. Miami Dolphins at number 5. And at number 4, just in case you haven't done the math, the top 4 are the top 4 teams that ended last year. I've got the San Francisco 49ers. Again, can Brock Purdy have another year like he did last year? Or is it going to be a fall off? Or is it going to be so bad that they have to turn to Sam Darnold, who was making some awesome throws in preseason? That defense is stacked. Nick Bosa's holding out, but it's going to get a done deal. That's just a matter of time. You're not going to let him go. And they might have some revenge for the Eagles. So San Francisco 49ers at number 4. And no, I don't have the Eagles at number 1. I actually got them Philadelphia Eagles at number 3. I'm very superstitious if I put the Eagles any higher. I try to throw away my biases towards the team and kind of look at all the facts. Brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator, pretty much a whole new coaching staff. There might be some growing pains a little bit early in the season with this. You still got Jalen Hurts, the leader of the team, the solidified quarterback of the future for the organization. The defense is pretty stout looking right now, but we don't know exactly what the system is going to look like going into the season, so anything can happen. But right now, Philadelphia Eagles at number 3. And at number 2, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow should be ready for game 1 of the season, so that's huge. The offensive line's got another year under the belt, a lot of communication with each other, and the chemistry is only going to grow. You give Joe Burrow enough time, he's going to make plays, it's going to be dangerous. Cincinnati Bengals at number 2. And surprise, surprise, my number 1 team going into the season, the defending world champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Do I have to explain myself? You got Travis Kelce, best tight end of all time. Patrick Mahomes working away to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Andy Reid, one of the best coaches of all time. Some question marks going in the defense, especially if Chris Jones keeps holding out. I think they'll eventually get a deal figured out then. But people doubted the Chiefs earlier last year. I'm done doubting them. You can't doubt them until I'm proven otherwise. The Kansas City Chiefs at number 1. That does it for the power rankings. Let's finish up the show with something a little bit fun, talking about the cool, I said paint schemes, the cool uniforms that are going on with the teams this year, throwbacks and special alternatives. All right, so there's 10 uniforms as far as I can tell right now that have been unveiled. Some really badass uniforms, really cool throwbacks. So the bottom of the list right now, and it's still pretty cool, but it's the Indianapolis Colts Indiana Night. So look at them. I'm not posting anything. You ain't going to get me NFL and some copyright stuff. Go check out what their Indiana Night is. It's a darker blue, special looking helmet and everything. Nothing too pizzazz or anything crazy. So they're down there. I've got the Browns all white, really cool looking, really nice uniforms, but there's a ton of uniforms on here, so cool. They're just above them. So check out their all white, that's really cool. The Broncos, the snow cap helmets, kind of throwing back to their old days, really sharp with the D on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Lions, they got their Mach 1 helmet kind of going into the what's the word I'm looking for? Ford Motorsports nod, since you got one of the Ford family members owning the Lions. The New York Jets got a legacy white, all white. All white are just nice and clean, really sharp. The Bengals are going to have their all white this year too at some point, but this is the newer ones that have gotten unveiled. I like this one, the Vikings Classic throwbacks that they've got. It's simple, but I think they just look clean. Then you got the Bucks, of course. They've got their orange cream throwbacks they're going to. I always like them. I don't know why, just do. I just think they look really sharp, and it's unique to the Buccaneers. The Titans going back to the Houston Oilers throwbacks. That's really, really cool. Always cool to go back to just a classic NFL team. I think it'd be AFL team, but really cool to see that. Seahawks, the 90s throwbacks, it's pretty fucking cool. I don't really need to say more. Go check out the Seahawks ones. I think it looks really, really nice. And of course, I'm going to go, and I'm going biased on this one. It's nothing to do with power rankings. You got the Eagles Kelly Green. Just fucking cool. going back to the late 80s, early 90s, Kelly Green. You've got the Reggie White era, Jerome Brown era with that. Randall Cunningham, just a lot of cool throwback memories you can have. Obviously, I saw Randall when I was a baby. Wouldn't remember him, but I had a Randall Cunningham jersey and everything, so at least had that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Go ahead, again, tell somebody, like, subscribe to the channel, share it out. I don't know, what do you ever got to do? Follow me on all social media platforms at the previously app known as Twitter, now as X. And TikTok, it's the same one, at TheRealZB93. And you can find me anywhere else with ZB Media Productions. So, a lot of fun. We'll be back at it next week. Again, keep following it. We'll keep getting to some more bullshit and keep talking about the NFL. Next week will be the time we talk about the first couple college football games, because it's coming up on us quickly, and the college football training camps are pretty much up, and they'll be announcing their official starters soon, so we'll be able to talk about that. So support the App State always, and got the Eagle stuff, but always fun to talk about everything. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and we'll see you guys next week.